Okay, good. Nice one.
So
All right, so just to sum up this next game, I don't know who this is. I've never cast a game with Brosras before.
he is a
GG tells
boss.
me,
I've casted him twice. He is a baller. He is a
yeah.
baller. I'm a big fan. I'm a
Well,
big fanboy.
checking out his loadout right now, it seems like he certainly is if he's
See,
confident to go in with that loadout.
that's
That
what
is
I
a Red
mean.
Wings loadout, you know? That's the Red Wings loadout there.
And Brosras is very highly ranked as well. If you actually look at his ranked, he's quite up there.
Right, okay.
Actually, I will do so right now. I will refer to my thing that I prepared earlier. Brosras, his average rank is 32. So his Soviets is rank 5. Rank 5 Soviets, and he's balling out the defensive. Here we go.
Yeah, well, people haven't seen the commanders yet, so don't spoil it straight away. I'm just gonna quickly set this up.
With a load screen.
So
So
we're ready to go. Yeah, no, I'm not on the load screen though.
oh yeah.
Now
Okay,
we're in the
okay.
in-game. Yeah.
We're ready to go
So here
here.
we go. Faymanville approach again. Quite a popular one to play actually in the later stages of tournaments. You normally see this map pop up quite a lot. We were shown a list, weren't we, from Relic of the top picked maps, and Faymanville I think was number 2 on that list of the played maps and tournaments. So a popular map. I always consider it quite a balanced map. Thanatos is going to be playing OKW. We haven't seen that much OKW today, so it's a pleasure to see them here. And no Brits today, actually,
Yeah.
come to think of it.
No Brits.
No Brits. And it's not like Brits are underpowered, is it, really?
Brits, I think it's just US are easier. I think that's really it, honestly, is that playing Brits requires a bit more mastery. They're a bit harder to pull off, I think, because you don't have the strong light vehicles in the mid game. You don't have a Stuart or a T70. You don't have the snares. I'd say, balance aside, I'd say Brits are just a bit more difficult to play in a 1v1 setting, in a competitive 1v1 setting in particular. That's a pretty big claim to throw out there, but I mean, that's what I think at least. I don't know about you.
I'm sure Dusty's hanging around to disagree with you.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's have a quick discussion about these commanders because I don't want anyone to confuse this with like Lend-Lease or whatever. So we have Tank Hunter Tactics here as the first choice for Brosras, then Guard Rifle, which is a fair enough commander actually, to be honest. It just lacks any kind of call-in. But Defensive Tactics, this is a community-made commander. I have to say this, and I've said this before during ESL. I've played against someone before who used defensive tactics so well that I was like, this should be meta. The PMD6 mines
Really
are
good.
so effective and cheap. Like they're so cheap to use. You can pretty much put them everywhere and just target minesweepers, and you basically your opponent can't just get out of his territories. So it would be really nice to see that because a player that does that effectively.
Oh, scout
really-
car, my man Brosras with the M3. See, this is what I meant. He's gonna be able to
It's in
dive
the
this
build.
Kubel.
It's in the build, I can see it.
It's 15
Again,
fuel
but
though.
like,
The scout car is
what-
just
what-
so risky.
He's gone for such a slow start to the game, you know. He's like approaching the sniper to the Kubel and gives the
It's a
retreat.
bait. Is it a
Fortunately,
bait for the M3? I think it was. Maybe not.
it may have been, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've hyped him up now. I think we've hyped him up a fair bit. Maybe
Oh, I have.
maybe
I've fanboyed for a
yeah.
while now. But this is great
I mean,
for
maybe,
Thanatos.
maybe he's not the player you think. Maybe
Hey,
he's
hey.
just the complete moron. and
Don't crush my
just picks.
dreams. don't crush my hero. All right, so Thanatos is going for a Raketin, and that's quite clever because with this tier 1 build, and maybe he's sussing out that maybe that type was a bait. He didn't take the bait with the Kubel, and the M3 has been revealed. I don't know if this is really worth doing here because now we're going to see the Kubel be a lot more defensive. It won't push out as deep, knowing that the M3 is on the field. And if Brosras loses this M3 without getting any work done, then he's going to really fall behind. 15 fuel in this matchup is pretty significant. You really want to rush out the T70 or the quad as fast as possible. It's very momentum-based. Soviets really as US as well. And he's got his sniper. He doesn't really have any infantry though. Only one sort of conscripts. But he has a flamer for the clown car.
Yeah. I've never particularly penned this as a good build against OKW because it just seems to give them so much more territory than they would normally get against an allied player. And I mean, the Kubel is so good at territory capping, and of course, the M3 as good as it is, and this general build can develop very, very well. It just feels like you give so much capping time to your
Oh, he's
opponent,
going
and it's
for it.
probably likely Thanatos is going to be able to tech up quite quickly now
There's a
because of
Raket
that.
in here, but Brosras doesn't go for the chase, so very good discipline there by Brosras.
May
It
still
can be
get it.
tempting. You're right. He actually leaves the fuel point. This is a pretty big mistake. He may get hit by a Faust as well. He doesn't have his battle phase, his battle group, so there's going to be no Faust available just yet. The Raket doesn't get the shot off. So this M3, I don't think he realized just how close he was to dying. Or maybe the M3 revealed the cloak to Raket and I wasn't paying attention to that. Has a big detection range. Either way here, the sniper hasn't done
so
too much.
ballsy with that Kubel now as well because he knows he's got the Raketten to back it up.
Yeah.
So putting the Kubel so close to the infantry is really in your face. You know, you can't attack me is what he's saying there. And I think he just got caught laying some mines with the Stern Pioneers, and he's going to know what Thanatos is up to now. But Thanatos is playing a very strong game at the moment against this.
He is. He's just not making a mistake. And this build it's a bit gimmicky that you have to get X amount of damage done, and if you don't, then where do you go from there? And we see Thanatos going for his truck. It's probably going to be a mechanized truck. This is one of the weaknesses of trying to make Tier 1 work against OKW is the fast Panzer II can really ruin that for you. And fortunately, Brosras has 3 commanders, all of which can deal with Panzer IIs. He had the PTRS on his conscripts. He had this one now with the guards, the guard rifle combined tactics, or he had even the light AT guns.
Yeah, I think guards was the only thing he could have gone then. I was about to say, like, I think he should jump into guard rifle because guards are the real carrier if things start going wrong with the tier 1 build. So he will have that kind of defense. I'm interested to see. It's actually the battle group at headquarters.
Okay.
And if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't really liked mechanized a lot recently because it's nice when you've got fully healed squads, but you can survive on tier 1. Once you actually get battle group up and you get the MG, like 4 Volks, 2 Rakettens, and MG, like it's very powerful. You can last a long way through the game.
Oh, the bait though, the Raketten, will it fire
build.
the second shot? It won't, but no, actually it will because he jukes out. Maybe it's such a wonky engagement, but the Stern Pioneers are there to finish that one off, and they retreat. M3 goes down. Engineer's taking a fair bit of damage as well here. The scout car went down. It didn't do anything, did it? It forced away squads, but there wasn't any wipes. Let alone there wasn't really any model bleed. The sniper's been doing pretty well for himself, 6 kills, but yeah, that scout car. It didn't even give him the map control either. It hasn't been a good game so far from my man Brosras.
Well, after all that hype as well.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry, Stormless, to
Well, it's
disappoint you
only
like
early
this.
days. I'm very optimistic when it comes to games like this. I mean, we've seen some games that have completely turned around. We saw what happened with like Fahu earlier when he's playing against Quentin. We've seen things in the past from like Barton. Do you remember that game against Jezelin during one of the ESL matchups? These are good players, and they can kind of respec things to deal with situations and come back from it. It's just going to require a good amount of guards are on the field now, but that gives me some reassurance when you see guards on the field because you know that they're pretty damn good.
Yeah. Good safety for the sniper as well. Prevents anything from chasing down the sniper, especially the Kubel of all things. And then if Brosras can just sit back at long range, not only will the guards be winning with the DPs, but then the sniper's obviously going to be doing some good manpower bleed. So I think this build can work if Brosras is able to keep the pressure up with the sniper, which so far, again, has been doing pretty decently. 8 kills is not bad, not too shabby. The VP situation, though, isn't that great for Brosras. Thanatos has had VP control for quite a while. 380 VPs remain for Brosras. So Thanatos has just been playing this one very well. He hasn't really made any mistakes, and he's looking good. He's on his way to eventually getting his Panzer headquarters, I would imagine.
It's a weird one. I mean, the map is very patchy right now. It's really great to see as well when you get players who are playing like all over the map like this.
Yeah.
Single engagements going off everywhere, and they're having to really like it's almost like on macro level, if you know what I mean. But they have to really look like everywhere they're going. Keep eyes on multiple squads over the map. Check out for grenades and things like that, whilst trying to deal with the threat of the sniper that's coming along. It's really nice to see games when they are like this. This is my favorite type of game to cast, when there's like a lot of action going on. everywhere. I don't think it's over yet by any means. I think, like, with the territory being as patchy as it is, Thanatos does have a reasonable amount of secure territory, but I think given that Brosras is getting slowly stronger builds, 2 guards now on the table, you know, there's a lot of room for him to do well still.
I like how there's a conscript squad as well. He can use that to build sandbags and even merge guards in some situations. And we have the sniper. It's had to back away. Needs the medics now. So good thing that Brosras has those medics. SCGs have completed for Thanatos, so he's going to be able to trade a bit better against the guards and the conscripts. The tier 3 has been completed here for Brosras, so probably going to be going for the T70 would be the safe choice. And the next truck is already here for Thanatos, who shouldn't be too far off getting Panzer IV. I wonder if he'll go for Obers. Obers against Sniper. It's a very weird... They kind of soft counter each other. The Sniper obviously does fantastic manpower bleed against the Obers with the 40 manpower reinforce. But the Ober can shred the Sniper incredibly quickly with that LMG at max range. So you got to be very on your toes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good... I was going to say it's kind of like a good, evenly matched balance thing, but really, for what time the Obers will start and come out, you really want to have had a counter for the Sniper by that point, something that maybe could have dealt with the situation a bit earlier on. I don't think the Kubel is that far off being able to do that. I mean, with Vet 1, it is able to use its infantry detection through the Fog of War, so it may actually find an opportunity where the Sniper can be kind of isolated and flanked away. What have we got here? We've got the T-70, which is now on the field. That's going to be going through. I wonder how he's intending to use that. He knows that the Raketten's on the field at this moment. We know that there's Faust available from the Volksgrenadiers, so it does have to be very, very careful.
One thing that's really strange from Brosras is he's just been so aggressive. He hasn't capped either of the corner points, the bottom left and the top right. Those points have been neutral the entire time. So he doesn't have those, but at the same time it also means that Thanatos has been denied some of his own points because Brosras has just put the pressure on all the way. So probably worth capturing those with the engineers that aren't really doing much more at the moment. But this is where Brosras is in a good spot because the Sniper and the T-70 don't have any counters at the moment unless the T-70 gets baited. But Thanatos, he's got the fuel for his Panzer headquarters, but he lost both his fuel points. So he's actually going to be a little bit off his Panzer IV now if Brosras can hold these fuel points.
Nearly losing a Volksgrenadier squad on the left-hand side. T-70 did give chase, but didn't quite chase far enough. Very lucky to get away with that one. And of course, whilst the T-70's there, Thanatos just lending his hand a little bit to the right side of the map to try and capture some points there. Needs to be careful here. We finally see the MG up in the field. That's just quite nice. The Sniper needs to be careful. And here we go, the second Raketen. I mean, this is what I was saying earlier. Like, I find this is like one of the nicest things for OKW right now is just a strong foundation.
Oh, the PPSH pop mid-fight on the Stern Pioneers. That was a little bit unexpected there. They got up close, excellent, and then all of a sudden the conscripts get the PPSHs and start shredding out those Stern Pioneers. PPSH
I mean, that's the first reveal as well of a commander to Brosras.
Well, the guards.
Oh, sorry, yeah, of course, the guards. No, you're right. Actually, not the PPSH.
It was the only guard commander that he had. But, yeah, PPSH conscripts do very well against Volks with STGs, and also the Stern Pioneers as well. If you can get up close and just run up to them, you can generally win. Because the Volks STGs, they're not really that close range heavy. They're more a mid-range weapon. So it's not like Stern Pioneers, where they're all about the short-range damage. The guards are very low here on this right fuel point. Tries to get he gets it neutralized too, so he can retreat off now, but has to be a little bit careful. The engineers are low. Max range STGs aren't too bad at wiping things. They barely gets away with those engineers.
Gotta say though, such great work with the T-70. That's really been a game saver for him, considering how the early game went. The T-70 really is doing like a lot of work on all sides, and he's somehow managing to avoid the Rakettenwerfers that are on the field. Kubelwagen goes down to the guards, which have now retreated from the center VP, so some good plays there to take out some of the capping units, and that just makes it all the more a little bit harder to get territory for Thanatos. So I'm interested to see what he's going to go here. I personally, I mean, now that he's gone for tier 4, I would expect he maybe isn't going to go for special operations. So I guess that maybe leaves us with fortifications and elite armored. And how good would it be to see a Sturm Tiger?
Sturm Tiger's pretty good because it one-shots SU-85. So even though the SU-85 technically counters it, it's so easy to slip up, and then all of a sudden your SU-85 gets one-shotted. So it's a bit hard to. Well, it's you have to make sure you don't make mistakes with the tank destroyers, but it's still probably not good against the tier 4, which I can expect to see Brosras go for with the lack of commanders, or the lack of call-in units on his
Well,
commander.
you say that. He is going for another Su-76, taking him down to 40 fuel, and he's not exactly secured on map control, so it could be a while before he gets that tier 4 up and running.
Unless he goes for a howitzer, which, yeah... Howitzers are very inconsistent, but they can do good damage. Either way here, Thanatos is pushing off Brosras for the most part. Has 3 guard squads. The guard's getting pinned by that MG in the house. So the sniper can flush him out or just use the Su-76 barrage, which he's using now actually.
But on the right-hand side, Volkswagen is very, very low. Hit a late retreat. One more shot could end it, but they do get away in time. Very, very forward. Last shot nearly cleared them out. Going to be an interesting engagement here. You've got minesweepers on the engineers there, so Thanatos may be considering that maybe some demo charges have gone down. Fortunately, they haven't, but he does need to be careful of that. That is normally a sign that somebody's doing that. Nice use of the T-70. He saw the mine go down,
Oh, great.
clears it instantly, but then takes a counter shot from the Raketten. It's all going on in this game.
Yeah, this has been a very close game. No one's lost any squads apart from that M3, so it's been a very high tier game. Great unit preservation, great just constant capping, constant fighting and flanking, and it's very back and forwards, which we like to see. And I'm just interested, how do the players go from here? I mean, it might even be a Panther, might not be a Panzer IV necessarily. Against the guards, the Panzer IV can get forced away. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
I
sure.
don't think the Panther would be very good here against that kind of. I think you want something that is going to be generalized against infantry and vehicles. I mean, it's only coming up against tier 3 vehicles. It's not like the Panzer IV would do badly by any means.
When you have mass buttons, you can make the tank destroyers kite very easily. The sniper's in a bit of an iffy spot because the Panzer headquarters is actually within range. And there's 2 Rakettens cloaked up. This Su-76 could go down if he's not careful. Oh, this Panzer headquarters! The sniper retreats out just in time, and
I think it had to reload.
Yeah, there's blocked off the flag on the fuel point. Oh, what? He misses the shot with the Raketten, and now the Su-76 is able to survive. Oh, lucky break there from Brosras. But
Actually, Raketten got taken down as well, so it's a win for Brosras on that engagement. This is good. I like to see this. A Raketten is stealthed and is going to be capping the fuel on the right-hand side, so a little bit easier for him now. T-70 is a little wary of going over there. I'm wondering where Brosras is going to go from here, though. Do you think he's going to pop artillery at some point during this game?
I have no idea. I'm not even going to try and guess. He has a lot of options. I will say he can go for Su-85. He could go howitzer. He could go caddy even. This is the great thing about Soviet tier 4. I think you have a lot of viable options. He's actually using the recon mode on his T-70. It's allowing the sniper to get some max range shots off. And he's actually Uraing his conscripts in. They're Vet 3 now, so they should be very effective against these Volksgrens up close. And actually may decrew the Raketten here. With the guards, no, the Raketten backs away, but good use of that recon mode. Not all players utilize that.
I'm being told, by the way, or just lightly informed in chat, that this may be game 2 of this series. So obviously we jumped out of the series we were casting with Paula and Woof because we thought it'd be the right thing to do. We didn't think Wolf was going to last long against Paul on the second one. So we've moved over. So yeah, if this is actually not the first game, then we apologize. If the score is wrong, I will get a confirmation on that at the end of this.
That T-70 though, the Raketten had to retreat before getting the last shot off and barely survives himself. Thanatos goes for an infantry support gun. Seems like a pretty good idea. The guards with their LMGs can't move around too much, so having any indirect fire certainly helps out. The Su-76 was trying to actually fire at the Panzer headquarters. If Brosras goes for a howitzer, a barrage there, he may be able to actually kill it with some follow-up damage. Putting a Zisk gun as well, so it looks like Brosras isn't going for his tier 4, else he probably would have gone for SU-85 instead. So yeah, maybe we'll see him go, just try and put the pressure on this Panzer headquarters with the Zisk, SU-76. You have the T-70's recon mode, which is very strong, besieging that Panzer headquarters and maybe some howitzer follow-up. Who knows? You there?
A lot of,
Oh,
yes. sorry. I'm just reading chat because they're just filling me in on maybe the previous game that's happening. So it seems like Thanatos won game 1. He would have been playing as allies. We don't know what faction. So yeah, this may be game 2, and that would make the scores on screen wrong. But that makes it all the more important that Brosras actually closes the game here. He does not want to lose this game to Thanatos of the OKW. Otherwise, he will be kicked out of the tournament. And he doesn't want that right now. He wants to be making sure he gets as much potential to be in the final 32 as possible. Still interesting, Thanatos hasn't picked this commander yet still. He should have a very good idea about what commander Brosras has got now. As we pointed out, there's been a couple of things that have very clearly pointed out what he is. And maybe he just doesn't feel like he has the right kind of counter available to him. Maybe he doesn't want to get drawn in, saving up for something. He just wants to stick with OKW until he really needs to step out of that margin.
The sniper's going to be Vet 3 now. One more kill. It's 33 so far, which is just so much manpower bleed against the OKW. The Zisk gun's opening up on the Panzer headquarters. I don't know if he's actually hitting it though. Stimpioneer's vault the fence.
Shots.
I think it was the SU-76 that wounded the Panzer headquarters though, not the Zisk gun. But
I'm not sure, because I think he was using attack ground there. I don't think he had vision sight. I think he was just generally firing in that direction. One thing I am seeing with Thanatos, I don't know if maybe you see the scout car wreck that is in front of the Panzerschwerer headquarters. There's also the Kubel in the mid-VP.
oh, he's not salvaging
Plenty
it.
of fuel here. Yeah, there's loads of salvage that he hasn't actually tended to at all. Here we go. We've got the Sturmovik plane call-in coming in. So that's going to make infantry a little bit of an unsteady game for a while.
Negative cover on the sniper, but he's able to keep firing shots off on the MG. So 100 VP advantage here for Brosras, 350 against the 250 of Thanatos. And a lot of munitions banked up as well for Thanatos, so he could go for some arty strikes of some kind. He has a lot of options. He has to really choose the right commander, because I'm not sure what's the best choice here. The Sturm Tiger perhaps, he's building a Panzer IV, and actually going for the Panzer headquarters here, SU-76 Zisk gun. He could lose this one. The Panzer IV will come out in time though, so fortunately he won't lose his ability to produce a tank. Even if he did, he could have just gone for the command Panther. Zisk gun may get wiped here though. SU-76 has to back away.
Really unfortunate, by the way. One of the Raketans actually missed the shot on the SU-76, which meaning it didn't connect to all 3 shots to get the kill. But now we've got the Panzer IV in. 80 gun is low health. The Volkswagen should be able to deal with that even at range.
Even the SU-76 is low as well. Yeah, that's a risky play and it didn't pay off, and that could end very badly here for Brosras. The Zisk could get destroyed by the Panzer IV. SU-76 has to make sure it kites the Panzer IV. It's so low, and even getting hit by a Raketten would kill it. And maybe Brosras...
T-70's out of position as well. That Raketten could get a final shot, and it's very, very close.
Pop the repair, maybe?
Oh.
Gets out.
That was really, really close. I don't know if he had sight there. Maybe he lost track of that.
Didn't have munitions for the repair either. So Brosras, if he goes for the howitzer right now, he can probably kill that Panzer headquarters. It's going to be a bit less essential because he's already built a Panzer IV, so it's not like he'll deny a vehicle, but it still would certainly be good to do. It would force Thanatos to either go Command Panther or King Tiger, or Stem Tiger even. So he still has options, but it would limit him even further, and it would also make it easier for Brosras to get the fuel and get that cut off. That being said, Brosras can just chill and go for the VPs instead, so he doesn't have to kill the Panzer headquarters. It's in a fairly defensive spot, and the Guard's doing a lot of damage against this Panzer IV.
My Panzer IV, it is working. It is working as the right choice. Of course, it is under a lot of threats as well. If the Guards do that much damage to it, what's the kind of penetration that the Guards get on that?
It's not amazing, but it's good enough. And in the house especially, the guards are pretty safe, pretty durable. So the sniper's at vet 3, 40 kills now. It gets very high rate of fire. The sniper has to be careful.
The SU-76, by the way. I think it's missing. It went for the house the first shot. Going to push the Volksgrenadiers away. I can't actually tell in this position who is really up front. I mean, the territory would obviously say Thanatos in a very good position right now, but I still get that impression that Brosras, his build, his play with the sniper is phenomenal. We're on 43 kills now, 24 minutes into the game, so he's nearly doubling up, 2 kills per minute. The manpower attrition is going to be, heavy. That's a lot of manpower to lose, especially for OKW. So, he is doing really well. The veterancy's high. I am impressed with his performance, of course.
Oh, he drops a DP at the south of the Volks. The sniper has to be very careful of getting hit by the ISG. Lost one model there, and it actually had 80 health. So, I mean, it had less than 80 health, so it could have got one shot by the ISG. Looks like Brosras is going for an SU-85, so he wants to have a hard counter for the P4, which with 3 squads of guards with buttons is absolutely a strong counter. If you have the guards nearby, especially if you have two guards for a chain button, just means floating up the munitions comes in handy, so you can make sure you button at least twice.
The button's an interesting one because button used to be almost like a complete dead stop, and it now isn't. It's more of a
it's a slow,
like more of a slow than it is kind of like a mild snare. But
it's hard to use though because you have to flank with it. Because if you're doing it at max range, once the tank gets out of the button range, then the button is off. So if you button from the front at max range, it doesn't really do much. So it's hard to find a nice button, but if you do, it is very rewarding.
I think it's more, I don't know, maybe if it's more light vehicle based, the heavies maybe don't respond to it as well. It's difficult for micro as well when you're in those big situations. But anyway, here we see the SU-85 trying to get in on the Panzer IV. In fact, takes a hit from the SU-76 first. This could be a big shot if that goes through, but I don't think he's going to have the vision for it. So nice as well, these games where we're seeing full map spread at the moment. There are units, engagements everywhere. Volksgrenadiers tearing up this Vet 3 Flamer squad. They are going to get the VP situation under control on the left, possibly going to be able to push the fuel as well. You'll notice like a lot of the vehicles apart from the T-70 are aimed anti-tank, which is only going to deal up against the Panzer IV. It's not going to be that effective against everything else that's on the field. And of course,
the north, the Vet 5 Volks went down. The guards and the PPSH conscripts, that's a massive blow for Thanatos, who only has 2 more squads of those Volks.
Yeah, I did see that one. It looks a bit of a killing ground on the right-hand side there. Nice use of the capping from the T-70. So now we're seeing the Allied vehicles doing their job, getting the victory points under control. And just as we see, like, triple cap from Thanatos, then we go back, triple cap from Brosras. The VP is nearly at deadlock, really. They're not that far off. 27 minutes into the game. We could be looking at a long one. But of course, Thanatos, he has picked Special Operations Commander. Now we will be seeing the Command Panther. So Command Panther, Panzer IV, pretty good opportunities to flank, I would say. I mean, there's no conscripts, one squad of conscripts in the field. Does he have the 18 nades teched?
He won't bother, I don't think. When he has 3 squads of buttons, the nades are a little bit obsolete.
Yeah, this to me says, you've got a lot of opportunities to flank here. Panzer IV and the Command Panther marked with the marked target that comes in the Command Panther. I mean, you could take down vehicles pretty easily with those, and I think he's only got to focus on the the SU-85. For that to happen effectively.
SU's in a really bad spot here. Could get Fausted by the Volks in the arc of that Raket, and he's on the focus side as well. He's moving at half speed. He could definitely lose this one here, but the Raketten gets decrewed by the sniper, so the shot doesn't come through in time. Gonna be retreating up now. Man, that clutch sniper, I reckon that would have killed it if it wasn't for that decrew.
Yeah, that was very, very unfortunate. But again, great players, and the good thing is that these players aren't letting it get to them. They really are just getting on with the game when that happens. Volks go down to the P-70, was that?
Yeah.
Very, very unfortunate. That was a late retreat, and clearly Thanatos isn't keeping up with the kind of micro-intensity that Brosras
this could be a dead P4 if he double buttons this. One of them is pinned. The other button hasn't come through just yet. No, okay. Well, he doesn't button that one.
I don't think he'll get it.
Do you have no munis for it, maybe? No, he called down the IL-2 Sturmovik. That sounds like a strange choice, but The ISG takes a fair bit of damage. I think buttoning the P4 would have been a much better priority there.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult thing to micro when you're trying to watch a number of things. You know, if you haven't got the guards hotkeyed,
Yeah.
you know, like if you haven't got them on a tactical group, it can be difficult to get the button off effectively. But I also think he may have considered that it wasn't worth it because the guards are, you know, they have a range kind of impact on how they button. And if you're going to button something when it's at the max range of the button, the tank will just drive out of that zone and just be absolutely fine. So I think maybe he considered it may not be worth it. It's probably going to take suppression anyway. So maybe that's the reason why it wasn't used there.
I don't think
Great
it was
use of
quite
the
maximum
T17.
range though. It was probably about half or 2/3 of the range. But yeah, anyway, that's fine.
Not that closest squad. And also just remember as well, there's sight blockers there.
Yeah, that's true.
So it could have been down to that. But the T70, by the way, has been doing really, really good camping work during this game.
Man, that Oba just instantly killed one of the crew on that sniper. That's what I was referring to earlier. And the engineers could go down. One of them goes down. The Vet 3-1, the Flamer is dropped. Could get picked up. Not by the guards, though, I don't think. Unless one of them dropped the DP earlier, because they only have 4 weapon slots. Only 4 weapon slots.
Raketin probably going to get another shot off. Su-76 does manage to survive. What do we got in here? The T-70's coming around. Panzer IV, where is that at the moment? I haven't actually seen where it is. Just coming out of the base. Has a good opportunity to go around here, but I have a feeling he is going to be saving up right now for the Command Panther. Doesn't want to be losing too many squads right now. The Volksgrenadiers have to have a retreat against the T-70. Panzer IV coming in to defend just saves that squad from getting annihilated is what I meant to say. Great play though from both players. This is such an entertaining game. There's so much going on. It's so refreshing from kind of like the big kind of block that you see, which in fairness is well microed, but you know, so much more map awareness and stuff going on here.
That Flamer is still there on the ground. It wasn't recrewed by the conscript, so maybe they're also full of weapons. Don't know if the PPSHs count as weapon slots or not. So lack of infantry is probably the biggest problem here for Thanatos. He may get a second squad of Obers now, or maybe he'll just go... I mean, even... Oh, there's Raketin gets wiped by the T-70 and the guard. That's a big blow as well. Yeah, I wonder if Thanatos will go for Command Panther or even for a King Tiger. He could do that. He's already got a bit of fuel banked up, more than the Command Panther needs.
Well, remember, he would need to tech up again before he can go for King Tiger, so... I think it makes more sense for him to go for the Command Panther, given against what he's up against. And
look at this.
King Tiger is...
He's buttoned. Su-76 as well, but there's a little tree in the way to save him. Su-85's too far behind. There is a Raketin on the ground, so that Panzer IV will back away with that Blitzkrieg. And nothing dies.
Well, the Raketin goes down actually there at the end of that, but very, very lucky to save that tank then, to be honest. That was a bit of the elevation there, and elevation can be a killer in the center here because, of course, there is that little dip in the road.
Yeah.
But it actually just hit the elevation in the road there, which is very, very unfortunate. But
good cap by Thanatos, gets that Raketin before the Su-85 destroys it. We'll probably see the other one be destroyed now. The Raketin has a very small target size though, so you actually will see the tank destroyers miss a lot. What you can do to help that is if you drive closer to it, you'll then have less scatter. Still, you'll eventually get it, obviously, as the SU is doing. There we go. So the Katyusha is being built by Brosras, not going for the howitzer. That's probably just because it's almost double the manpower cost, which is pretty crazy. What's it? 360 manpower for the caddy. So it's cheaper and it's probably just better as well. The Command Panther
feels he needs to spend some of his fuel, to be honest, because he's had a hell of a lot of fuel this game that has been not spent. You'll see, by the way, Command Panther came on the field, so I think that's a sensible choice, especially if you're going to be playing up against the Su-85 and things like that. You know, you're going to be able to flank very, very well with a Panzer IV and a Panther. The King Tiger is just bait for the Su-85 and the Su-76. I mean, really, especially with guards, I couldn't see the King Tiger working at all in this situation.
Yeah, there's just too much anti-tank, and at the same time, it's going to be just as difficult for the Panther to really do much. There's just so much AT combined with the triple button, and the Ober's going to get constantly manpower bled by the snipers. 63 kills.
Ooh.
It's a little bit crazy.
I'm not sure if Thanatos is trying to get a flank on with that Panzer IV on the right-hand side, but he definitely just drove it over the VP, and that would have revealed it to his opponent. In fact, yeah, you can see the Su-85 is reacting to that instantly by going over to that side.
If you
of
flick
the map.
over to Brosras' vision, the T70 gives so much with that Vet 3 in the sight mode. But that's the coordinated fire on the SU-85. He's going for it here. The Raketin hits the SU-76. The guards, they're not nearby. Will he get the button off? Not quite. There goes the SU-85. And even the caddy's a little bit exposed here. Guards are there with the rear armor, but there's just no more follow-up. And the caddy goes down. Big mistake there from Brosras. Didn't back off that Katusha. Good play there by Thanatos. ISG doing a fair bit of damage as well, and there's a DP on the ground. But only 93 VPs left here for Thanatos.
My apologies as well. I didn't catch the Katusha going down. I was trying to get the cinematic right, but I missed it.
Sorry, I missed the important
Nice shot
thing.
there though with the SU-76 taking down the Panzer IV. Now it's going to try and take down the Command Panther. I think the Command Panther is a little bit wary of this can go very, very wrong in this position here.
Oh yeah, there's not enough resources for the button, so he couldn't use the guards there. This is where guards are a very munitions-heavy playstyle, especially if you're guard motor and you have mark target, or the other one with the ISU mechanized something. Then you have mark target as well. This munitions caches can come in handy, but Brosras hasn't really been pop capped, so he hasn't had the spare manpower to justify that. But either way, I think losing the SU-85 was a big blow there, and a really good. It was a nice plan. You could tell that Thanatos, he planned that out. He had the Panzer IV preemptively in a flanking position. He got that marked target off, and Brosras was out of position. The guards weren't nearby. That was his mistake. That's why he lost that. If he had a guard squad closer, he probably would have been able to kite that one away.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see him rebuild the SU-85. It's what he needs the most right now. As for Thanatos...
Yeah, I mean, that was a shame. I actually thought what he had in terms of medium vehicles there would have protected him a little bit more for the Panzer IV. But there must have been something going on with the sight blockers as well, because they didn't see it coming, you know?
Yeah.
They really didn't see that approach.
And Thanatos will probably just get another Panzer IV, so that's smart. That's just another expendable flanking vehicle, which is what that last Panzer IV was. And...
Well, this is a tricky situation though. Brosras, all he needs to do right now is cap that third VP. As you guys already know, the VPs drain 1 VP per second on a triple cap, so that would mean you know, just over a minute, so just under a minute and a half left of gameplay if he can secure a triple cap and hold it. So big pressure now for Thanatos.
Defensive mines, very clever, but it actually gets scouted by the Panther. So we'll have to cancel that one. But it's a good idea. Want to have those defensive mines. That's actually probably a big mistake there earlier, is that Brosras didn't have defensive mines against that, which he's trying to now. He realizes that he, you know, maybe didn't quite have the protection that he needed, but he still has the sight mode on his Vet 3 T70, and the 2 VPs draining down currently. So I just don't think Thanatos has the infantry, even if all the tanks get killed. The guards and the sniper and the Vet 3 cons are going to just trade easily against the single Vox squad and the Obers. The Obers are very strong, but when that sniper can just pick them off so quickly, then it's a little bit weaker. Will the T70 go down though? Needs to pop the crew repair here. Oh, just gets away. Very close. Yeah,
Really
guards.
interesting engagements going on. Like the double guards not able to cope with the vehicles. Are we going to see the response come in there? It's not the SU-85 that's coming back. He's actually going for the T-34-76 variety. I'm not sure what he's going to hope to achieve with that. I'm just wondering, by the way, in the middle we got the Raketin lined up against the sniper. I bet money that Raketin could snipe both of those models if he tried. That's exactly the kind of thing that happens.
Negative cover as well. He retreats just in time. Big mistake there from Brosras, leaving that negative cover sniper. The Obers lost 2 models, and they're going to be suppressing at Vet 4 now. That is a pretty crazy boost. I think Brosras is looking for the VPs. I don't think he's trying to kill these tanks. It's actually probably smart, because those are some very strong tanks there with the Command Panther, the Panzer IV. But with the T-34, it'll just give him more infantry, anti-infantry firepower, and something to soak up shots for the 76. May go down here. Gets the button up, but only on the Panzer IV. T-34 is soaking up some shots here. It's working, it's doing its job, but the Panther is undeterred. Oh no, he actually does.
Looks like the T-70 might come round. Oh no, I thought it was going to come around and deal with the Panzer IV then, but it's a good push at the moment. They don't have anything to deal with the Command Panther. Su-76 long range, getting spotted by the guards, firing consistently as well. What's the Panzer IV doing? Barely any health, comes back into the engagement. Guards want to get gonna get a line of sight on that.
Now the
there we go.
Panther goes in.
The Orbital dart actually throw the grenade that gives smoke and like phosphorus. So, is that what it's called?
Yeah, the frangible. Yeah, very very good use of that grenade. It's great counter to shocks or close infantry. So, yeah, that was tense. That's the one thing about this game. We have seen so many engagements, and not really that many tanks have actually died. There's been such great unit preservation, both in infantry and vehicles alike. So, very very impressive stuff here. There's the IL-2, and I think this is going to be just a VP bleed and a win here for Brosras, regardless of these vehicles. There's only one squad of Stern Pioneers, there's no mech for the repairs either. So it'll be a while before all these tanks are back on the field. So I actually think this T-34 was smart, just as a quick, cheap, hold the VPs and appeal for the tank destroyer. Going to be a triple cap pretty soon, and the IL-2, unless it was shot down, it should still be loitering. The icon is on the minimap at least.
The icon does stay if the plane gets shot down, but I think the plane is removed.
When there's two Pintles in a Panzer headquarters, it's bound to happen. But the T-70 hasn't been repaired. Maybe a little bit short-sighted here from Brosras, but doesn't need much more to close this game out. Bit of a mistake there as well. The conscripts were in front of the wall, so the Panzer IV got a nice shot off. It's a very guaranteed AoE if you're in front of a wall. Going after the conscripts, and well, the T-70 goes down. Yeah, he loses it.
70 has gone down. Yeah, Panzer IV's in a very, very good position to flank right now. It does get buttoned by the guards. What's the Su-76 doing?
Well, the two guards are
actually going to try.
Nice, he's going to lose that one for sure. Nowhere to go, Panzer IV. Even misses that close range shot off. All the VPs have been capped up here. He bounced the shot, and the Command Panther's behind him. What? Where did he come from? Where's the T-34? It's too low, but it is actually flanking here. And there goes the Panzer IV. 76 is still juking. The guards are there firing their PTRS. The rear armor SU, but can't track the turret. Panther's waiting for the shot. The 76 misses, and there is the 76 destroyed. T-34 couldn't join the fight, but the new one has been built. Oh,
and all the while, we do see that Thanatos has gone in for a triple cap, managing to secure all three VPs whilst that engagement was going on. If he can build himself up now, he actually has a really solid chance of maybe securing this game. What a turnaround that was.
He has a squad of Volks, a new squad here, but the T-34 I think is going to be too much anti-infantry to force them off, and the Panthers going to have a long time to get repaired. The Raketan's going to have to get retreated here.
I don't know about that, to be honest. The Volks the Stern Pioneers, especially with the Minesweeper upgrade they've got, the combat package, will repair that reasonably quickly. Quick enough, I think, that it could deal with this T-34.
Maybe it's worth Brosras building more T-70s because they're cheaper manpower. Oh, the command vehicle, the coordinated fire, the marked target was used there on that Panther, the T-34. So that's blown now, and the top VP had an MG covering it, so the guards had to retreat from there, but now the T-34 has shoved up. Middle VP is being captured, the bottom one as well, so it's probably going to be game here. Sniper retreats.
Well, if I'm honest, I'm really rooting for Thanatos to come back from this after that push. I would love to see, something like that happen. Stern Pioneers not taking the opportunity to deny this cap. They could have gotten close there to deal with the guards. They didn't. Meanwhile, the Command Panther is going to take this Su-76 down, at least I thought it was, but it's going to miss the shot.
He tried to ram.
Of course, he tried to ram. Engines burned out, so it will be easy pickings, I think, at least. This is an interesting one. I mean, it's very, very close at this point. We haven't got double cap VPs on. In fact, it's just come on now, so the VP drain isn't too much at the moment. I think it's only going to go down by a couple before Thanatos can neutralize it again. So he's still in this game.
The MG
somehow.
setting up. Unless he flanks the MG here, he's probably going to have to get suppressed. He hits the dirt! He hits the dirt! He can't get suppressed. However, the Panther will crush him. So, not nice try, but it's not going to work very well here. He's going to have to retreat, I think. Yeah, he's going for the cap, though. Will he crush the conscripts? Oh, no, Brosras, he had to... He lost the game of chicken. He retreated from that one. doesn't need to take that many gambles. At the south, the Volks could go down, and that's all of the vetted infantry. I missed the Obers going down as well. Did you see that happen?
I didn't see the Obers go
Okay.
down, no.
Well, that's
Actually
GG
reaching
then.
out for a Panzer IV at the moment. I don't think it's going to come out in time. He has got neutralized VPs, but of course,
There's the MG.
very, very close. I would say on build right now that Thanatos can't win this, but it's so good that he's giving it a go. He clearly believes in himself, and that's all that matters really at this moment in time. ISG's trying to remove guards from this point. Brosras is actually so comfortable on the VPs that he's just going to be decapping the munitions rather than sending everything to defend, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be GG. 7 VPs remain. Epic game from both of these players. So good to see OKW as well. And we do know as well that Thanatos took the first game, so it is a 1-1 now, Brosras Thanatos, and we're going to head into the ace game after this.
That was the best game I've casted in a very long time. That was fantastic. Going in with he's trying to ram again. He wants the ram, but Thanatos will not give it to him. He won't let it. But it forces the Panther off, and that's going to be GG. Oh, what an excellent game. The sniper. How many kills did it get? Can't see it. Wait, I can. Where is it? Oh, it's retreating. Can't select it. Oh well, it's probably 70 or something. But oh, that was excellent. That was such a well played game from both of our players. Truly. I got to say, probably the best unit preservation as well that I've seen in a long time. It took a while for Thanatos to start losing squads. And then once he did, that was really when it was GG, I think. Because the guards were just too strong. Because without those vetted Volks, he lost 2 of them. He just couldn't contest the VPs. The Rakettans were getting forced off by the sniper and the guards. So he didn't really have the supporting AT. And great flanks with those vehicles, but Brosras just balled out of control, way too hard for the Thanatos to deal with.
Yeah,
that was good.
It was a shame. Like there were definitely some moments in there that probably could have closed it a little bit more. So unfortunate though, that engagement, you know, going in there, taking out the Katusha and the SU-85, and then like nearly getting the SU-76 too. And you just think that could have gone so well for him. That was such a game changer. But of course, it didn't quite pan out in the end. But still, great games. And I love that you know, Brosras had that hard. He had a hard start to that game. He gave away like total map control to OKW with that like first unit sniper build kind of thing, and you know, to come back from that in the way that he did, well played and intelligent game. That was an intelligent game, and I like that.
Do you understand now, Stormless? Do you
Do I
understand the Brosras fanboy?
You know what? Like I like him already because he goes in with defensive, you know, community tactics.
Yeah, right.
So he's already in the good books, you know.